And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Holy Crap, the Vlogcast. Vlogcast that comes from a skeptical point of view to answer some of the questions of why. This vlogcast started as a combination of spite and the Streisand effect because people on Facebook, you get so pretentious and you think I don't know what I'm talking about, and then you find out, yeah, I do, because I've talked about this before. Nice try, though. Nice try. Part of this is to follow through with the old adage, sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. I'm your main host. I'm known as Shujin Tribble all over the place, S-H-U-J-I-N. Welcome down to the place. Let me go ahead and introduce you to who we've got, because we don't know if we're going to get everybody. Not quite sure what the hell's going on. Top left-hand corner bingo card of North America, outside of Calgary, inside of Calgary, around Calgary. You're not quite that bit fat. You're not around Calgary. Never mind. Evening, Dalan.
Dude,
I'm thinking of Don Wilson. I'm sorry.
No, I'm thinking decaf for you, my friend.
I already had.
He's drinking Tang.
Yes, I am. For anybody that's wondering, yes, the big tumbler of Tang is upon. I gotta watch. I was just looking in the camera and I'm just like, is that tilted? That's tilted a little bit too uncomfortably. I don't think that's a good idea.
Anyways, yes. Good evening.
All right, south and just off to the right a little bit from there, Midwest of the U.S. Good evening, Brigid.
Good evening.
And outside of, is anybody walking around with big giant signs that say Mueller 2020?
Oh my God.
No, I don't see anything of the sort around here. I tend to walk around with like horse blinders on now, staring directly at the ground in front of my feet, so I don't, I don't fall into the potholes around here.
Actually, I was going to say it's probably a good thing you do that because I'd be worried if you're making eye contact with anybody in a suit down in that place right now, because chances are you might get arrested by the FBI.
Well, it's
and you'll be pulled in to see if you know anything about the Russia investigation.
Comrade, I know nothing. Я не знаю.
We'll go.
Please. You must speak from the. Nah, never mind.
That's it. It's a wonderful thing we're doing tonight.
It is never to be minding about that.
On tonight's special Russian episode, we will determine where all our Patreon followers are from.
Oh,
we have none. We're good. We're kosher.
Well, all right. Well, no, wait a minute. There is one person that went ahead and donated $20 to us a while ago, just to donate $20. And to you, thank you. You may not think that it's you may not think that it's a lot, but the fact that you did it in the first place, thank you. Seriously.
Well, the thing is you're seeing it as $20. The person who donated is seeing it as 10 installments of $2.
Yeah, no, it was one $20 thing. So
because we are a news provider. Anybody else see Better Off Dead? Come on.
No, we're not.
$2.
No,
$2.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
French toast.
So that was. Oh God. Oh, the French fries.
In high school we used to have. Actually, this wasn't even high school. This was grade school. Yes, I'm dating myself again, but screw y'all. We would actually have sort of movie afternoons at school. The teachers actually sponsored it. It was a way to kind of, blow off steam or whatever. It was springtime. Maybe we didn't really care too much about work. And it was English class too, which, whatever. And I think I've seen Better Off Dead 3 times as a result of that. And it took me until after graduation to realize who John Cusack really was. And then I go back and see. No, I went back and saw that movie again. I was like, God damn it, that was awesome.
That and what's the one where he's an assassin?
Oh,
Gross Point Blank.
Gross Point Blank.
That is that one once, but I want to see it again.
Personal favorite John Cusack movies.
Yeah, I want to see that one again.
That and Serendipity.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a chick flick-ish, but there's enough comedy in it to really make you laugh. Besides, I'm man enough. I have the beard enough to say that I can enjoy a decent chick flick. I'm not talking about that crap like The Notebook. No.
See,
that is just pure crap.
No. Keyword decent.
Yes.
I'm the same way. Believe me, I saw a lot of chick flicks and rom-coms when my name and happily married could actually be used in the same sentence without the word not. But no, nowadays it's usually science fiction, creature features, and oh God, what have I done with my life?
It could be worse.
My significant other doesn't handle scary movies well. Anything with a jump scare or anything that is supernatural, paranormal, like not paranormal, like ooh, the ghost. It's kind of spooky-ish. No. This is the ghost that will rip your lungs out, turn you inside out, and possess your child. That kind of crap. Yeah, she can't handle it. Her imagination is just. I have a vivid imagination. She puts mine to shame.
I was getting worried there. The way that you were saying that, I was getting worried that you were going to continue on with that, and it was going to be a vivisectional imagination, and I was really worried where you were going.
No. Vivisectional imaginations are where you accidentally give yourself a lobotomy.
Yeah,
usually, if somebody is like that, they wind up in politics running for president.
Okay, you and your girlfriend start scratching the concepts down, give them to me. Let me see if I can put some kind of a literary spin on it. We could make hey, it worked for Scott Sigler.
Nothing to lose.
Hello, Reddit. You have received your new writing prompt. Have at it.
Hell no. Reddit they're not getting a finger on this one.
Oh no, I actually do enjoy writing prompts, the subreddit. Some of those have actually turned into really good novels.
I'm gonna have to check that out one of these days.
It's really great. Because there are plenty of people out there that have, I have this great concept for a book, but I have no idea where to go with it. Go to writing prompts. Put your idea out there. See if somebody rolls with it. Some people have done the Amazon has basically an instant book system where you have to basically produce enough pages that they will actually have it become a printed book. But you don't have to go for a printed book either. There have been several of them that have gone under the wire just enough to get them produced as PDFs. And so I picked up several books that were based off of stuff in writing prompts for like $2 each, just reading on my Kindle app. And they were great novels.
Well, the plan I'm going for, again, part of this whole irons on the fire. But you know what? Let's get to that after the freestyle so we can talk about how we blow off steam.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great, actually. Go ahead.
Kind of dovetails.
DuckTales. Woo woo.
Don't. There's too many things going in my head. Yeah, Brigid, we didn't put you to sleep already, did we?
No.
Okay.
She's laughing silently in the corner.
Yes. Nobody puts Brigid.
I don't know these people. They've never seen my face. Oh
no,
wait.
You see, what's going to happen 15 years from now is that the secret blog that Bridge is writing is going to be made public, and the rest of us are going to be like completely publicly humiliated. You see, that's her insurance policy against us ever running for public office.
No.
What UnrenownedTech does in his spare time, I will never look at Teletubbies the same way ever again.
That's gonna be right where we're gonna stop it.
Oh boy, don't make me go get that vodka. I haven't got my mix yet.
Thank you all for joining us tonight, and of course, if you're watching live,
you've been having too many funs with ponies, there, buddy.
No, I told you I had my coffee ready earlier. Half an hour before show, I was done with my coffee.
And do you know how much sugar that stuff has in it?
I'll figure it out later. Those of you that are watching live, like I said, thank you very much. Please enjoy using the TalkBack chat system there, which I did remember to change on my screen, so I'm watching live chat instead of top comment. Why? YouTube, really? Why? It makes no sense while we're doing a lot. Whatever. You know what? Whatever the hell, doesn't really much matter. And we will go ahead and we'll chat up all this stuff. So Stephanie, I did see you. Hello. It's close enough. And Trippin, good to see you over there. I kind of got Stephanie earlier, and I did the whole Eden text, hello, the Mrs. Doubtfire thing, and I do it better, but I'm not going to go set my tits on fire. That's as far as I'm going to go with that. So some people know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let me go ahead and get everything rolling over here because I don't know if I will end up getting. I don't know if Witchie is going to end up joining us. Probably not at this point, but maybe. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let me entertain you. Let me make. I will just get everything started.
I just found it. Sorry, go ahead. I forgot microphone's on.
This is what I got.
I've been looking for this. That's all. I got it from my gym. It's
one rehearsal. That's all I ask.
Take two.
Wait.
That's not gonna. No, later. I'll explain after. I promise.
All right.
So, let me get it all rolling over here. So, with 5 minutes on the clock, 5 minutes freestyle starts right now. Now, normally I try to keep the freestyles to, something that's actually pertinent, that's kind of a bigger picture kind of thing to give people something to kind of chew on and think about and see what comes of it. And a lot of times I really get at the end of it all and I kind of wonder, did I really get my point across? Did I connect all the pieces? Did I sound like some kind of conspiracy theorist kind of guy that's got like all these pieces of red string, but they're not really connected to each other? I always worry about that because, I try to show that I've got connections with all these things I think about. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Tonight, I am talking about something selfish, and that's not something that I normally do. Every once in a while, I'll talk about stuff that's about me. And okay, fine, my show, my rules, whatever. You know full well that I try not to go by that. But it's selfish this time, and I will admit it. So, as the recording of tonight's show, we have a little bit less than 1 week before the Ride for Roswell happens, which is the fundraiser for the Roswell Park Cancer Institute here in Buffalo. And for the last, God, has it been 10 years? Yeah. I've been doing the fundraiser from Second Life, which has been really cool to realize that, we've been doing that. I don't remember how many years I've been doing that 36-hour radio stream marathon, but even so. But this is the last push because I'm going to be cashing out whatever money that I've got from Second Life Wednesday night after I get done with my my radio stream, the 80s show. As of the last check into it, I've got over $500 USD in that account, and I'm very happy for that. I'm always very thrilled whenever we come up with, and as much as people think that it's a crappy expression, every last penny. And I know a lot of places don't use pennies, but I don't care how much it is, because every last penny is a little bit more that they didn't have before to put towards cancer research, to help people to subsidize part of their treatments, if at all possible, to try to make the world suck less. And how great is that? It's not something that we can always say that, we do on a day-to-day basis. As Colossus reminds us, 5 or 6 moments in a lifetime is all it takes to be a hero. Yeah, I watched Deadpool 2 recently. Shut up. But this is something that happens every year. About the same time of year. At the end of June. I know full well it's something that I can concentrate on. And I concentrate very hard on it. From May 22nd, the date that my wife passed, all the way to the end of June, where I actually get to say, I want your money now. And it's not even for me. It's for the people that have to go through this shit. It's for the families that have to try so hard to help a family member who eventually can't walk because they have not been able to eat and bring in enough nutrients because the treatments have been absolutely devastating their brain chemistry because they don't want to eat, even though they need to. You don't have families that have to go through what we did. You don't have 9-year-old kids sitting in a radiation machine for half an hour at a clip on a Saturday so that they don't die. Am I trying to pull the heartstrings at you? Yeah. Because I want you to realize how important this thing is to me. The reason why I wear this cap, it's not just because I want to go ahead and tell all the people with the red hats that they're screwballs. Because I want to do something worthwhile. I want to do something that's going to help people, even if they will never know I exist. It's episode 215 on the docket, Your Honor. Take 5, guys. We've had more than our fair share of crap stories that we've talked about. We've had enough serious stuff, serious topics, and stuff in the news has just been a constant cycle of WTF, mate. Seriously, for way too long.
Oh, believe me, I can.
Dude, I live in Maryland.
Yeah, on Sundays, of course, I do my own show on Second Life. And recently I've brought back that segment that I was known for on Friday nights back in the day, the old WTF News segment. It's really hard these days to find the funny these days. I go to one particular, it's actually, believe it or not, it's a subreddit called Stupid News. No, and they aggregate a lot of stuff. And
at least it's not fake news.
Well, and to its credit, I know of at least 2 other podcasts, possibly 3, that also draw from this source. How do I know this? Because the night after, the day after I've posted this, these news stories, a particular YouTube stream that I watch usually has 1 or 2 of the same. And I just finished listening to a podcast I haven't listened to in a long time on Friday, and they were using one that I'd used last week. So either we're all drawing from the same source, or, it's a happy coincidence. But that well is starting to dry up, because a lot of what I'm seeing these days is a lot of stuff that to me breaks the 3 rules of DJing in Second Life. The 3 things you never talk about: politics, religion, current events.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I was thinking of something else. Never mind. Anyway. But no, I got you. And funny enough, on that angle, you remember when I used to be doing the flashback newscast once upon a time ago?
Yeah, I think I did a couple of bumpers for that back in the day.
Yeah. It turns out, and I didn't realize it at the time,
Mm-hmm.
the way that I would figure out what was going on for the week in history, that was exactly the same kind of stuff. That it was exactly the readout that George Schwab was using for his stuff for his podcast.
The history chunk, yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, that's a good thing. I honestly think that means that, if you got 1 or 2 extra people on different shows doing that, then you must be doing something right. Or you're all doing something tragically wrong, but at least you're in good company.
Or you could be doing something tragically hip. Speaking of which, Joey has just joined us over. Morning, Joey. I know he's there.
As I was saying, I've never heard my name quite so emphasized and elongated, but hey, whatever works for you.
Figured it was a matter of just give you a couple of extra moments to try to grab that switch. But anyway, good to know that you're over here. Anyway, so the guys over there are chatting it up already. So I will be addressing only just briefly I'll explain when we get over to it, but you'll figure it out in a minute. But normally speaking, of course, we'd have Heretic Woman over here to have a real quick update as far as to what's been going on with Rafe Badawi. Don't know where she is at the moment. Last I saw, a couple hours ago, she was at home. I'm guessing she's probably just asleep, so whatever. And if you're not asleep, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Screw you too. But anyway, unfortunately, I don't have any new news as far as to what's been going on with Rafe. The last we'd heard, of course, was that there may actually be serious. I know. Serious rumblings from the Crown Prince, Dreer Poosen. I'm doing good tonight. So the possibility of clemency, we're still waiting to find out. However, I did put the dates through the time machine system to find out what the actual exact dates are, because every once in a while I, normally between shows I just add it up in my head and change the number. As of the recording of tonight's show, it is now 6 years to the day.
Damn.
That Rafe Badawi was unjustly incarcerated for thought crime. And our hopes and our thoughts are still with you and your family. We're still waiting. So, like I said, the guys over in the live chat have been chatting it up, and Trippin, first off, my hugs for you, and had also said, quoting him, funny how Fox is now saying, quote, real news, honest opinion, unquote. Yeah.
Well, okay. To be fair with the whole honest opinion thing, I mean, if that's what they really think, even if it is an utter load of bullcrap, they're not technically lying.
Well, that depends. Some of these people may actually have a conscience and may only be saying what they're told to say because they want the money.
Gee, where have we heard that one before? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a couple of atheist priests that are still practicing because they don't know how to do anything else?
Timone.
Yeah. So, as far as that's concerned, I will go ahead and I will say something that may be a slightly unpopular opinion, but it is my position on it. The old expression, of course, is even a broken clock is correct twice a day. It is possible, however, unsightly in their own eyes, that they actually report accurate information. I will not say truthful. I'll say accurate. Because you guys know full well, I don't like the capital T truth word, because that has way too much baggage that goes along with it.
Yeah.
I would much rather have capital F facts. Facts. And there are a couple who apparently do exactly that. Yeah. They report correctly. Now, as with everything, don't trust any one singular source, no matter which group it is. Always aggregate as best you can. CNN, NBC, CBC, MSNBC, NPR, PDQ, I don't care what that, just as many BBC. Did I get BBC? Fuck, I don't care.
But I got you.
Yeah. Hit them all. Al Jazeera, for crying out loud, is actually good reporting outside of the Middle East. In the US, they actually do good reporting for the most part. Every once in a while, you got to be a little concerning about, who's saying what, but
just remember that an opinion post is an opinion post. That's really simple.
Yep.
Some sites are really good at actually pointing out when they've posted an opinion-based article versus one that is a factual-based article, such as, okay, this building over here, it's known that there was a fire, it's known to occur at such and such time, such and such day, and that the response was, yeah, yada, yada, yada. Whereas an opinion piece might say, we feel that, this was done by so-and-so or the group or local group of hooligans and this, that, there, because there's no proof. So an opinion article is something that's relying on maybe hearsay or speculation or just feelings,
The biggest problem these days is that so much of what you see online on, so-called journalist websites, and even some of the more notable ones, like New York Times, Financial Post, Globe and Mail, National Post, although I use that one kind of loosely. That's a rag we've got up here in Canada. And I say rag because,
it's fine.
No, I got like a free 1-year subscription to that thing for a while there. And it basically turned into Ezra Levant's soapbox. Rebel media, just put it that way. Anyways, but the thing is, a lot of these sites and a lot of the articles that you start hearing about these days, a lot of stuff you see posted on social media are all just gigantic op-eds. It's hard to actually find a story that isn't an op-ed.
And there's on some of the ones on television, they'll blend some of this stuff together. I noticed in one of the channels, not channels on television here, somebody had caught a snippet of a channel over in the United Kingdom where between two during it, and I will admit, it doesn't matter what country you're in, daytime talk sucks.
Yeah.
So in between two pieces of news, some women had gotten together and were talking about, well, does Father's Day really need to be acknowledged anymore? Yeah, one of those.
Oh, I know.
And see, and that's a case of opinion. That's not, hey, there's a fact. There's a movement going around to try to abolish Father's Day, and here's a good reason why it should happen. No, these are women. These were people. Forget what gender they were. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that they were talking about the concept of doing something. And they weren't doing it as a news piece. They were doing it as an opinion piece.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stations where they don't go, okay, news piece, opinion piece, news piece, opinion piece. Just like you were saying with the journalists on the websites, they do it on the television too.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember a time on the news channel, you saw news. Opinion piece? No. It might be the ending comments at the complete end of the whole run.
Rex Murphy.
There you go.
Yeah, Rex Murphy. What's his name? Andy Rooney, 60 Minutes. He used to he did the edit. It wasn't an op-ed, it was the editorial.
Right.
Of course, now they call it op-ed because, it's opinionated editorial.
But the editorial still had a lot of thought behind it. It wasn't a knee-jerk reaction to all the news that just happened.
Oh, yeah.
It was something that was designed to not only kind of tie everything together, but also to make you think about it.
Yeah. But, one of the things that really grinds my gears, and I haven't seen it happen recently. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know what really grinds my gears?
What
really gets me is you see these so-called viral videos of something. And it could be like maybe 45 seconds to 5 minutes worth of something. And everybody and their dog jumps all over it and they rip it apart like lions on a deer. Okay. And then 2 weeks later, the leading 3 minutes of the video is released and the context of the whole thing shifts to the point where everybody, and I mean everybody, ends up with their foot in their mouth. This is what kills me about so-called journalism these days, is that it's all knee-jerk and it's all flash value. And then 2 weeks later, the rest of the facts come out And what do we hear? We either hear dead silence or they go the KFC route and try to double down on it.
So,
and the people that double down are, well, they're made to look like even bigger fools than they are, because now, in the face of, the facts that basically contradict everything they've said, these guys are more dishonest than most religious apologetics I've talked with.
Okay, so right on into that. Let me go ahead and use this. Since we're basically going to talk about stuff that helps us to decompress after all this stuff,
mm-hmm.
And trust me, this is going to be worthwhile. By the way, over in chat, Trippin, without the fairness doctrine, news is in the entertainment category. Yes, except the problem with that was the fairness doctrine basically said you had to have a dissenting opinion, and just because you've got a dissenting opinion doesn't mean that it's right. I lean you over to somebody that wants to end up talking about global warming, for instance. Or if somebody said that they want to come on and rebut NASA's allegation that the Earth is an obloid spheroid. Like the guys who say that the Earth is actually a donut with a star at its center, and people who live several hundred years old and stand 15 foot tall in a garden with apples the size of your head. Whatever. That's a whole other thing. But one of the things that I end up doing, yes, I play some games every once in a while. It depends as to what it is. Believe it or not, I actually do pull out solitaire once in a while. Because Minecraft, feed the beast, because I keep doing that. I still hate the nether. Anyway, but one of the things that I end up having fun with, and you guys know full well because I've talked about it on many an occasion, I have fun with people who turn out to be my new best friends. Now, I'm putting up on the screen for all of you folks, not the discussion that I was having, because I don't want to try to figure a way of blocking out individual names, because I'm not going to. But I did screen cap everything that I ended up talking about. But someone that I know forwarded along this picture. For those of you that are listening, it was a picture that was posted June 14th. It is a picture of a gentleman in a green shirt that says on the back of it, New York Jets, which, by the way, apparently from what I've been able to find out, you cannot buy this from the Jets. I don't know where this guy got it, but whatever. On the back side of it, it says, and it's a little hard to make out because the way that it is, I stand for the national anthem. The gentleman is reclining, I think this is probably the best way of putting it, sitting on what appears to be an American flag, or at the very least, some kind of perhaps a towel, using it as a one-person beach blanket kind of thing. And the context that went along with it, the big caption that went along with it was, guy wearing I stand for the national anthem shirt uses the U.S. flag like a picnic blanket. Now, let me tell you why this is the kind of thing that I get fun out of. I end up having fun when people go ahead, and this kind of loops into some of the stuff that I ended up talking about at the opening of the show. I end up having some people who are apparently all kinds of get up in your face. So I had somebody who was very unhappy about this, and the discussion started to get into the U.S. code regarding desecration of the flag or respect for the flag.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you that are wondering, that is U.S. Code 4, Chapter 1, Subsection 8. Yes, I kind of have it in my head now to try to remember this stuff. Kind of like Ezekiel, donkey sperm, whatever. I don't care what chapter verse it is.
Ezekiel 25:17.
No, it's 23:20.
Brigid, it scares me that you remember that.
It's more scary that all I have to do is say, yeah, donkey sperm in the Bible. I got that one for you. I thought I was the weird pervert furry in the group, man.
Hey, but you know what? You got these people.
Actually,
go ahead.
Brigid, I'm sorry. I just have to say, Brigid, I think we're thinking of two different things. I'm thinking of Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
Ezekiel 25:17.
That's the one that Samuel Jackson uses before he shoots a person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the one that goes, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Or am I thinking of the wrong one?
No. I'm pretty sure that's Nicholson
89.
Yeah. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yep,
fair
enough.
But anyway, no, what I was thinking of is you see a lot of these, like when an atheist goes like toe to toe with an apologist, and they're able to just, rattle chapter and verse off and actually be able to quote what it is. I've always admired that with people because, to be honest, yes, I've read a good portion of the Bible, but not enough that I could actually go back and be able to spit that stuff out so quickly.
Yeah, well, full well with some of the guys that we know, it just comes up so frequently. It's just kind of burned into the
it's almost by rote. And I think we did a show on rote a while back.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Apparently, said person, I will not say a gender. Some people may be able to find it, but that's a whole other thing. Said person went ahead and had said, "Do you even know?" Because I said that the desecration rules are unenforceable because they are unenforceable. There's Supreme Court cases on this, so okay. And the guy had said, do you even know what the code is? And of course, me, I'm sitting back and going, okay, sure. Here it is. Chapter, verse, subsection, boom. Copy, paste. Yes, I know this. Oh, yeah. And it could also be, it doesn't have to be whichever item, or it could be this one too. Case could be made for that. And then they decided to do a big faux pas and move the goalpost.
Oh boy.
Because they had gone ahead and said, and I can't tell you exactly what it was because I'm not going to go flipping back through over to it, but they basically said, well, you could be prosecuted under the military guide. I forget what there's an acronym for it. UMCJ?
UCMJ.
And no, if you're not a member of the military or of a foreign military,
it doesn't apply to you.
You would not be held accountable under UCMJ. That is an entirely separate law set that civilians do not have to worry about.
Yep.
Unless the action in question happens to deal with treachery or sedition.
Okay.
In a time of war.
Okay. Well, this guy had also said, you as a civilian, you can't be prosecuted for adultery, but under the UCMJ, yeah, you can. And I'm thinking to myself, moving the goalposts much? So here's why I had fun with this. And yes, I screen capped everything because I did not trust this sumbitch not to go ahead and delete the thread or block me. So here's the picture again. Went ahead and said, well, maybe this was a veteran, in which case I would not have a problem with him because he answered the call of his country, and he went out and did what he was asked to do. And maybe he was wait. Maybe he was wearing the shirt to make a point that he would stand because he would stand for it for people who can't stand, like the fallen comrades. And yeah, so let me go ahead and really quickly let people understand. In this photograph, the person in question is not wearing a uniform or easily identifiable markings, ergo would not be obviously military of any kind at this point. The idea that this person is military cannot be substantiated. The idea that there was any kind of physical ailment for this person could not be substantiated. So I went and I did what any good skeptic would do. Snopes to the rescue. And found all the information about it. The guy was at a football game in the third quarter near a bunch of food trucks, laid out his American flag, and sat down in front of some big-ass big screen TVs with a bunch of other folks to watch part of the game before he went back inside. The original photographer actually had a write-up that said, this is where we were, this is when it was, this is who was playing, and this is what the guy did. And he said it was a flag. Not a towel, a flag. So I went ahead and had to tell this guy, here's my cited source. And guy said it's a flag, and it doesn't really much matter what he's doing with it because can't be prosecuted for it. So yeah, you can't substantiate your claim that the guy was a vet. You're talking about this unsubstantiated claim as if it's fact, which is wrong. All of your arguments have been without merit, and you've been talking about stuff and moving the goalposts. Yeah, what's exactly your problem? And once I posted that, I screen grabbed the whole damn thing. Because, like I said, this is the kind of person that I don't believe has got enough honor to go ahead and come back later and say, you know what? Fine, you were right. Because I also went snooping on their profile. They've been in the U.S. Army Reserves for 25 years, according to their profile on Facebook. And that's when I said, oh, and by the way, if you were in the armed forces for the U.S., and I think that you are, wouldn't you have taken a little sworn oath that said that you would support the Constitution? Not the cloth, the Constitution. I didn't write this particular part, but as far as I'm concerned, I believe the expression at this point in my best English would be, fuck off. It could be Australian. I don't know. It could be Australian at that point. I don't care. So, Joe, I know I cut you off, and I'm sorry. I needed to make sure that I got that out. But you want to go ahead and talk about this guy pulling out the
point I was going to make is kind of mute at this point. So,
then do it anyway.
Well, I was going to say, even if he was a member of the military and was a veteran at this point, it wouldn't matter because minor infractions at UCMJ don't get applied unless the only thing that can be used against you after you have ETS'd for UCMJ is if you were committing of a war crime. So that's the only thing in the UCMJ that doesn't have like a statute of limitations on it.
Basically, this guy was being a douche nozzle. You think?
Given that he's a reservist, I'm going to refrain to comment at this point.
Man, talk about read between the lines right there, man.
Well, Okay, so maybe there's some truth to that whole thing that happened on that 70s show back in the day.
Should he be doing it as a reservist? Not really, but that's between him and his commanding officer. So,
Yeah, there you go. So that's what I have some fun with.
Yeah.
Racking my brain power to find out, do I still have it?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
Okay, there's something I wanted to bring up here. Okay, so it was a flag. I mean, it could have been purchased at, a street vendor for $10. It could have been purchased at dollar store for $5. I'm not sure if there's any kind of, I don't want to, I use this term loosely, but I don't know if there's any kind of consecration rite that suddenly turns a flag into something more than the cloth, if you know what I mean.
No.
For the military, there is kind of. I mean, we do have regulations as far as handling the flag and, how it should be treated, how it should be, if it's damaged, how it should be disposed of.
Yeah. But I guess in terms of what I'm saying is that if you go to a dollar store, you buy a $2 flag and you burn it.
If you as Joe Citizen buy a flag and do whatever with it, there's really nothing that can be done to you from a legal sense, simply because of all the times that people have done such things and turn around and the Supreme Court declares it, you know what? Freedom of speech.
Yeah. But I guess the other thing that I was getting at was there's all this talk about respect for the flag. And okay, I agree with that. It's a symbol of your country. And if you are proud of your country, if you hold your country in high regard, then yeah, seeing that symbol, like when I travel, when I see that maple leaf again, I get a feeling that, I'm home. Or when I'm traveling abroad and I see somebody with a maple leaf, I'm like, okay, cool. That's some hosiery. But one thing I've always found interesting is, okay, I'm going back the way back machine here a little bit, but my ex-wife was part of a group called Party Lights. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's like a candle, premium scented candle bullshit. And the other thing you do is these like decorative candle holders. And I'm talking, they can be anything from as simple as, a little pedestal to something in the corner that can burn a 5-wick candle that lasts about 17 hours. And the candle alone costs about $200.
Yeah, I've seen some of those, I think.
Yeah. And it smells somewhere across between daffodils, defeat, and body odor. They can never quite get the perfumes right. But every time we saw these catalogs, they always had a section called Americana. And this is where Old Glory, Stars and Stripes, the pattern is plastered onto everything. And a lot of people say, oh, that looks absolutely awesome. Okay, I'm not American, but to me, it just felt tasteless.
Tacky?
Yeah. Exhibit B, Your Honor, if you will. Dog the Bounty Hunter. You remember his wife? Can't remember her name off the top of my head.
Never saw anything about this.
Okay. She was the kind of physique where if she had a upper body wardrobe malfunction, a lot of people would be experiencing a lot of joy in their pants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And one of the things that she always wore was a American flag t-shirt. Kind of the same concept, the Americana style, which is it's not a white shirt with the flag on it. It is like as if the flag became a t-shirt. And a barely containable one, I might add. Now, again, I'm not shaming her, but just that choice of wardrobe, I just find it so strange that you guys have this respect for the flag. And again, I understand where that comes from. Make no mistake. But then in the same sentence, I see all this other stuff where to me, it's almost disrespected.
Yeah.
I find that very interesting.
No, you're exactly right. And by the way, I just pulled it up just because. 4 U.S. Code, subsection 8, respect for the flag, item D, the flag should never be used as wearing apparel, ... It goes on from there, and we don't need it. So, yeah, you know what? Yeah, whatever. Shouldn't be used for marketing purposes. It's like, it's the flag. I mean, there are banana hammocks that are with the design. You can't tell me that people really take this shit seriously.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I've seen the Union Jack done the same way. So, I mean,
to be fair, yeah, we'll give them a little bit of a handicap over there. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, it just seems so strange that, you know, you will respect the flag, but the guy who's telling you to respect the flag is wearing the flag as a pair of, you know, underwear.
Yep.
You know, it's I don't know. This is one of the very many reasons I have yet to quit drinking.
I'm glad I got my drink right here.
Yeah, because I honestly think the amount of confusion I'd have over some of these concepts would cause my neurons to like completely seize up.
Not to worry, but yeah, in a nutshell, I like finding new special friends on Facebook. People that think that they know that all that. No, not so much. Not so much, guy. You learned 2 new things today. Moving the goalposts, and that you're not as smart as you think you are. And I know I'm not. That's why I have Google. So there you go. Working from there.
Google is your friend.
Yes, it usually is, especially when you can corroborate off of things that are like, let's see, a .edu website. Especially Cornell Laws .edu website.
Yeah.
You get the idea.
Yeah, for every piece of bias that's out there, you can find
facts.
Yeah. You just sometimes you gotta dig a little, that's all.
Yeah. So, I guess we kind of go from there. Joey, we know full well you and I have wait a second, I'm trying to remember. You were teasing me last night about playing Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was kind of the reason why I made specific reference to it, and I may have pissed off WitchieBunny. Sorry. No, I'm not. Not in the least. So, yeah. Kill 'em up games, destroy pixels just because it's a good way of blowing off steam. You enjoy that. You enjoy the hell out of that.
Oh, most certainly. Flavor of the month this month is Crossout.
Go on. I don't know anything about this one.
Basically, Mad Max Simulator. Post-apocalyptic. You build cars, put guns on them, blow each other up.
Huh. I just pulled up.
It's good fun.
Okay, I'll have to see about that. I'll drop that in the show notes just for that.
You get to be both creative and destructive at the same time.
Cross out. Steam. There it is.
It's free to play. Wonderful fun.
Let's take a look at this.
Yes, I will drop that into the show notes. I'm also dropping it over on the live chat, so folks can take a look at that. And I'll keep that for later. Should check that out later.
Anarchy Online.
Crossout is produced by the guys that made War Thunder, which is combat flight simulator, or at least that's what it started as, and has developed into all kinds of different military style vehicles. And it really is a simulator. It doesn't have, like with most arcade games, say games from wargaming, like World of Tanks or World of Warships or whatever, you don't have like hit points or anything like that. Instead, you have, critical systems, and, the game determines, okay, you fired what kind of shell from what distance, where did it impact, how thick is the armor there, what angle is it at, what's behind that armor, stuff like that.
Fair enough. Kind of backtracking just a couple of moments though. Like I said, Joe
about Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, about Left 4 Dead. We've Dalan, I'm trying to remember. Were you playing with us also that one time with Witchie?
I did once, and I don't think you were on it, but I did have a distinct honor.
Uh-huh.
I got to play Left 4 Dead with Matthew Ebel one time. That was kind of neat, except it was like my third time ever playing the game, and I was still a little I had the twitchy trigger finger. Not itchy, twitchy. In other words, if you were standing in front of me and there was a zombie there, I could not guarantee that I would not hit you. And yeah, basically after a while, Matthew just said, you know what, Dalan takes point. Because he shoots anything. Like,
I have played once with Matthew Ebel, and I don't think he's ever going to trust me with a grenade launcher again.
Kid says explain. Okay, so Left 4 Dead Left 4 Dead 2 is basically a zombie apocalypse kind of thing with you and your team of 4 people, any number of which could be AIs. The AI director that sends waves of zombies at you
is a sadistic bastard.
Is a sadistic bastard is a good way to put it.
It is currently powered by HAL 9000.
Yeah, we'll go with that. My problem with it is now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tease her because I can a little bit. WitchieBunny has a really, really bad habit, or it used to. It's been a long time since I played, of getting the katana. As soon as it shows up, oh, mine! Yoink! How about some? Fine. My problem is, I'm a sniper. I'm very good at being a sniper. This is not the kind of game that you can be a sniper.
I'm sorry. You want to repeat that, Shujin? Because I've seen you at work.
What?
I've seen you work in the sniper rifle before. I'm not sure you can make that claim just matter-of-factly.
He's calling you out, dude.
You know,
I've known snipers.
Dude.
And you, my friend, are no sniper.
It's a game. A game.
Yes. Not one you're particularly good at.
We're gonna have words. We're gonna have words.
In my preferred game, like in my preferred venue of blowing off steam and taking out frustrations on everything, I acknowledge the fact that I'm not a very good player. In fact, I'm quite squishy. But there's compensation. In particular, a bow in the game that when I fire it, it arcs through the air. You know, I shot an arrow into the air. Where it landed, oh, fuck, I knew where. Because when it hits, it creates a frost dome around a group of people that I'm aiming at, which slows them down for about 2 seconds. Then it detonates. And everything inside of it either gets really badly hurt or dies. Unfortunately, if you're close enough to be in the blast radius, you're boned too. Yeah, you learn how to quick swap your weapons to your secondary very quickly if you end up in close quarters, because you don't want to fire that thing off in close quarters.
Not this. Doesn't surprise me in the
Yeah,
least.
and for anybody's asking, the bow is called Lens, Lenz, or Z if you're American, and the game is Warframe.
You'll see that.
Never played it.
Oh, actually, give me one quick second here, and I will show you something.
Yeah, as a complete aside, it's been a long time since we played Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
I'm just suddenly realizing we might need to see about doing that again sometime soon.
Yeah. Okay, give me a second here. Where is it? There it is.
Always a pleasure.
Ain't it though?
Yeah.
Just
Here's
just the chance to see how inhumane your fellow man can be.
Yeah. That's the bow.
As a bow?
Yeah, that's me going through my green arrow phase. I did them all up green, and then I actually posted this picture on my Warframe Clans Discord server with the phrase, "You have failed this city" underneath it.
It looks like a piece of green Wakandan tech.
It blows up like Wakandan tech too.
It's the weirdest damn thing.
Yeah, that's the thing about the stuff in Warframe is that symmetry was not exactly on the menu when they built a lot of the stuff. A lot of it is kind of out there. Each of the factions, their guns have very distinct styles. But it's a lot of fun. And the best part, it's all free. There is, short of certain cosmetic affectations, there's nothing you can't purchase in-game that is exclusive. In other words, you don't have to like pay real money to get 99.9% of the stuff. And the 0.1% that you do need to pay for, it's either A, cosmetics, or B, it has been created by fans. What's it called? It's stuff they call Tenogen. You pay real money for it, but it's stuff that users of the game have created for sale. And they actually get, I think it's, they get 70% of the sales profits.
But does it actually change the dynamic of the game itself, or is it just, again, more cosmetic than anything else?
It's all cosmetic. Any weapons, you can farm for the pieces. You can, you can either farm, like grind for it, or you can purchase it with, the in-game currency or whatever, the platinum. But the thing is, you don't have to.
Good.
Like these guys, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there saying that, this is free to play done right. It's free to play, but it's not pay to win.
Good.
Very similar to the game that I was referencing earlier, Crossout. It has a currency system in the game, and you can buy currency, like with your credit card or whatever.
Yeah.
But you can also earn it in the game, and it's not that difficult to earn. Like literally, the resources that you earn when you're playing the game, just free to play. You can the game has a player controlled market.
Yeah,
it's an open market, and players set the prices based on supply and demand, and you can go ahead and make a few. You can earn some resources in the early stages of the game when you've started playing, and you just sell them on the market. And as your revenue increases, your capital increases, there's more stuff that's open to you.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now, there was another one that was just posted into the group chat for us. And now I get to go ahead and say, Brigid, you put yourself on the spotlight now. Congratulations. So what's the one that you went ahead and you mentioned over here? We're talking about games right now.
Ark Survival Evolved. Dinosaurs.
Oh my God. I have played that. And no, I have. I played it actually when it was more early release, so it was still pretty choppy and stuff at the beginning. But yeah, I love that game. We had one hell of a crew too.
Yeah, and the expansions are really good too.
That's what I've heard. It's been a while since I got back into it, largely because, well, I've got no other friends that play it. But yeah, I remember that game. I was always the aerial miner guy. When I got my bird, I was able to fly up to this one place and just mine to my heart's content. And I built a furnace up there so that I could smelt it all down to ingots, and then I would load. And then like somebody had one of those the big ass birds, the Quetzals.
Yeah,
where you can like build a platform on them. Yeah, and they would show up, and all the stuff I'd smelted, they'd load it up and take it back down to our base. Like we had a thing going. It was awesome.
The last time I mined anything in a multiplayer game was EVE Online. Never again.
Yeah, that game is either spectacularly monotonous, or you rub shoulders with sociopaths.
Stop right there. Stop right there, because there's no or involved. It's just end. Just end.
Yeah.
Spreadsheets in space with the toxicity of a freaking YouTube commentary.
Oh my God, you're not kidding. Some of the stuff I have heard that has gone on in EVE Online really shows, like, you want to talk about, like the how toxic gamers can be. And I mean, we've heard that floated around a million times on a million different places. That game is one of the few that I would actually tend to agree with people. There are lots that I don't. A lot of people say, well, this game is full of toxic people. Well, really? I've never seen it, and I've been on that game for, 5-6 years. I would have seen something by now.
Yeah.
You want toxic? Try Rust. Try Rust.
No, I don't want toxic. Okay, that's why I play Warframe, because as soon as somebody gets toxic in that game, the community punts them.
Oh, good.
Like the player base does not screw around. I've been on fire team missions with people. Someone asked a question and they doubted something. I said, well, actually, I just did this and it worked. And they kind of went, oh, that's cool. Thanks. Or I've asked questions online and they said, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Give this a shot. Try a couple of things here. It's players helping players, and that's what I love about that community.
Okay. Let me backtrack to Arc for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Little behind the scenes thing for. Sorry, microphone's right there. I forgot. I really don't know, but the number is more than one. The number of times when we've gotten done with a show and we're talking off the air and I end up hearing click, 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 click. What the hell are you doing? I'm feeding my dinosaurs.
Well, she just said in open chat that she breeds Quetzals, which that's a good thing, because those are like, okay.
They have a huge carry weight. And,
Here, boy.
Yeah, they are the B-52s of Ark Survival Evolved. And actually, you're hoping they're not like B-52s, because if you could drop ordnance off those things, all that would be below would be pooched.
Yeah.
Like my personal favorite, going berry farming with a brontosaurus.
Yeah.
And then there's like a little, raptor in the way. It's like, wow, home run.
There's like a handful of people right now who are just like, dude, yeah, and a bunch of you who are just like, what? Trust me, that was freaking funny. You should be laughing.
It's always fun to pick up dardos and throw them.
Oh God. Oh yeah, and yeah. I always found that funny that the Brontos would be used to gather berries, even in the middle of a forest. But if you wanted the wood, you had to go out there with a mammoth.
Yeah.
Or, okay, you could go out and do it by hand, but your chances of survival were Somewhere between Jack and shit and Jack left home.
Yeah, beavers are pretty good too. You don't want to mess with them. They're badass.
Beavers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those were after I got in, or after I got out of it. I think the last thing I saw was the well, they brought in the Godzilla looking thing, the one that you could just barely control.
Oh yeah, I've got some of those.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
Some of, man, just rub it into the faces of the people who don't know jack squat about all this stuff, man.
Oh, a Gigantanotosaurus. Giga.
You got a kaiju. You've got a kaiju.
Pretty much. Put it this way. I think if Aaron Ross started playing this game, his brain would start leaking out of his ear. out of all the things that are wrong with it. I mean, hey, let's go ride a giant scorpion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do those.
Go fly, okay.
But when you breed stuff, you also have a chance to get mutations, and some of them will give it, more melee damage. Some of it will do some funky color, like, I don't know, hot pink or something. Yeah. I mean, it's really fun to try to breed them and get mutations.
Oh, the one I love.
Have feathers.
No, at least not last I checked.
Maybe
I think the one I remember was you could actually give custom paint jobs to your dinosaurs. Yeah,
you can still do that too. But the breeding them to get it naturally is really cool.
Yeah, but I saw one that was actually I got a hold of this paint job. I had a Tyrannosaurus that was done up like Iron Man.
It was a raptor doing that.
No, this was a T-Rex paint job that looked like Iron Man, and it was kind of god awful, but at the same time, at least they knew it was mine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like I would get on the server like, oh, I'm bored. What do I want to do? Do I want to harvest? No. How's our stockpiles? No, we got lots of stuff. Okay. Yeah, let's just go out and nom a bunch of stuff. So jump on the T-Rex. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, look, there's something. Nom. Oh, there's something over there. Nom.
Boom, boom, boom.
It was always fun to sneak it behind new players too and roar at them. It'd scare them.
Oh, yeah. The first time I played, actually, no. The one that got me was I was part of the clan, and I get into the fort for the first time because they had to escort me there because when you get started, you're basically naked on the beach.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, these 3 dino riders come up to me and like, okay, we're going to escort you to the camp. I'm like, all right, no problem. And I get there and I'm wandering around, and all of a sudden, I hear this, and I turn and, well, there's a T-Rex checking me out. You know how they kind of lean down like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? I'm just like, I'm freaking out here because, again, I'd been playing for a grand total of 15 minutes. I didn't know what to think. I was like, am I friend or am I food?
That depends.
What's the difference?
The difference is you're still conscious.
Yeah, no. The difference is later on I
on up. Oh God.
Yeah, later on I took that particular dino out for a spin, and yeah, that was interesting. Well, let's see. The bugs that you can't see because they're like hidden in the bush, the ants.
Yes,
yeah.
I hate those.
You'll hear the dun 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 music.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I can't see them. They're biting me. Okay, I'm just gonna start walking around. Splitch, splitch, splitch. Okay, we squashed all of those. Oh, gee, look, there's a dodo. Squash. All right. And it's like, oh, raptor. Nom. Then you go to then you see the Bronto. I'm like, yeah, okay, main course. Yeah, no, those were fun, but unfortunately, the group I got in with got involved in a little bit of drama with other players. It was all PvE, but how you can set up pillars to limit how some people can build.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this particular group started getting into that, and it spiraled very fast. And I think that's one of the reasons I left. It was just too much BS going on, and I really didn't want to start over from square one. But I haven't picked that game up in a couple of years now.
But they are getting rid of the pillars, or at least that's what I read, to where if you don't have a large structure, it will just auto decay. So
good.
pillaring thing is going to go away.
That's going to piss a few people off.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent.
And we saw, I just saw Shujin's link in the open chat there about his go-to guilty pleasure, Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, but I've already talked through my stuff. I put the thing for Feed the Beast in there, but I'll kind of come back around. But tech, I think it's about time that I actually got you for your particular choice of item of fun and I mean, I know it's not alcohol.
Right. Not anymore. And even when alcohol was part of the decompression process, it usually was a glass of wine and a good book at the end of a long day. And so
these days it's discharging ceramic capacitors on your tongue, right?
No, nobody uses ceramics anymore. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. The
shit ton of them.
No, it just depends on the day. Like some days I have a lot going on. By the time I get home, my decompression is hopping into bed and going, "Hi, Klaus. Pleased to meet you." And then other days I actually have some time to myself, and I might hop on Steam and play. One of my favorite games is Rust, and you do have to kind of pay attention to what servers you're on, because some of the servers, they house a lot of very aggressive, very salty, very angry 13-year-olds who think, oh, you know, I'm hiding behind a screen. You know, I can say whatever I want. You know, and really nasty, dirty, horrible things, and they think it's cool because, well, they're 13. They haven't learned anything yet. So, like the fact that some people actually know how to trace IPs, for example, or how to find out information based on social engineering. So, that's always fun. But there's plenty of servers in Rust that are new player friendly, that sort of thing. Or instead of playing player versus player, they kind of encourage player versus environment stuff going on. I'm also into 7 Days to Die, which is a zombie survival game. The sandbox is not as big as some other games. There's actually a border around the sandbox, but it's got a lot of neat game mechanics in terms of construction and weaponry. You actually end up learning to pay attention to, okay, well, is my character going to basically thrive on hit and run tactics? Is my character going to be an excellent builder and you know, maybe an armor and things like that? And you do it through not only selecting skills to level up, by actively doing things also levels up your skill without having to spend skill points. So you could I think like the maximum character level is 200, but you're not going to reach that by day 7. That's one of those servers where it's been running for months. But with 7 Days to Die, you've got on day 7 in the game, you've got a blood moon. The sky is red. Zombie hordes are running at you, flocking and destroying everything in their path. And you're really hoping, did I make everything out of concrete? Or is that still wood? Or is it just scrap metal? Do I have enough ammo?
There's a very easy way for dealing with that.
Barrels that go boom. Molotov cocktails.
Dig to the bedrock and never leave.
Unfortunately, they dig now.
Well, I know they dig, but they very rarely dig straight down.
Right. And it does take them a long time. So depending on how fast they have the game time running in terms of the night cycle, they may never get to you in time for day 7 and to roll into day 8. So it's completely dependent. I've done bunkers underground. I've done bunkers above ground with pits, literally the equivalent of a moat with no water in it, very deep all the way around. That takes a while to pull off, but if you got a couple friends playing, and you're all on the same page. That's a lot of fun. Building a fortification to survive a zombie horde that when it's coming. So yeah, a bunch of different games. I've been playing Raft, which is a new game. I was part of the group testing it before it even made it to Steam. That was fun. Basically, you wake up, you're on a raft, and you're in the middle of the ocean, and you have a hook with a rope attached to it. And look, there's some floating debris. Best catch it and build stuff to survive with it.
Huh.
They're listening to right now they're in the stage where they're still listening to the player base for suggestions. So they just literally, like in the last week, added a bow and arrow to your weaponry arsenal, in addition to the spear, fishing pole, and hatchet, and so on and so forth. And they have some interesting mechanics, and I'm really looking forward to see where they take the game, because right now at the stage that it's in, it has a lot of potential. It's really going to depend fully on how much they listen to their players. Like I said, right now they're doing a good job of that. But that, like any game that we've seen, I think I'm willing to bet any one of us in here can name at least one game where it started off great, where they were listening to the player base and they were making great changes, and then somebody in upper management went, we're not listening to them anymore. We're going to do what we think makes money.
Gee, Star
EA?
Wars Battlefront too much? Or anything by EA in the past 2 years?
Yeah, I haven't bought anything from EA in a very long time.
Yeah, you and me both, man. Yeah, Dalan, you yeah.
Let's see, what do I have up here that's by EA games? Virtually nothing.
Yeah. Actually, the last EA games I've purchased were the Mass Effect games, and
I have a lot of Microprose stuff.
none of the Mass Effect games I can actually get to work on my PC anymore. So I've got them for Xbox. Actually, I want to give not so much a shout, but I want to mention a YouTuber. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Is that the video or the game?
That's the game.
Damn.
Which what?
Heavy Metal Fact 2.
Wow.
Based off Heavy Metal 2000, which is the video.
Yeah.
I have both the original Heavy Metal and Heavy Metal 2000 in the game. And I'll tell you, the game was fun because that game, I burned a lot of hours on that game. Not because of Julie Strings, but either. With the mouse, the right mouse button, when you click it, fires your right weapon.
Oh, yeah.
The left mouse button fires your left mouse button. So when you're dual wielding akimbo Uzis,
yeah.
And you can literally... The targeting system was very intuitive.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to walk around doing that. The chainsword, there was a lot of happy moments in that game.
Yeah. But no, I want to give a shout out to a YouTuber, believe it or not, who does fairly decent reports on gaming news.
Markiplier?
No,
he's just a goofball, but I love him.
Oh, no, yeah. Props to Markiplier. Props to Jacksepticeye, both of whom really made me fall in love with Subnautica, which I haven't played it all the way through yet. I know where I'm at. I'm actually scared to go further because I know I'm going to get my butt kicked. But no, this guy's he goes by the name of Yong Ya. He's done a lot of reports on the so-called AAA game market, like EA and Bethesda and all the others. Basically, trying to give you sort of an insider's view of kind of what's going on in the gaming industry, but in a kind of an unbiased way. Like he's not
basically the facts without warping them to serve a purpose.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If
news.
Like if he reports on something, okay, so EA is now in trouble because of the whole loot box thing.
Right. That's not an opinion piece. That's a fact. EA did get in trouble.
But then he might throw in a comment like, these guys are so full of shit. But you can tell that's a comment, that's just his opinion. But he's still reporting the fact that, yeah, you know, EA is still fighting to keep loot boxes in, claiming it's not gambling, even though there is apparently medical and psychological proof that loot boxes do trigger the same chemical reaction that that gambling causes. And the harmful thing about the loot boxes is that it's last I checked, it was pay only.
I bet they also have the whole ding 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 ding.
Close. I've seen the loot box sequence in Battlefront 2, and it's yeah, you're not too far away. And again, that is one thing I love about. And again, I'm gonna gush about this, but there's one thing I do love about Warframe. There is a thing in it called relics, and these are things you pick up along the way, like on your quests or whatever. It might be a loot drop, but then you can play a special mission with 3 other people where you go on a relic mission where you get to open these things, and inside will be one of perhaps 6 different things, 6 or 7 different possible things, blueprints, other special items, prime blueprints. That's where you get the really good stuff. Now, if you're in a team of 4 and all 4 of you select different relics, whatever you open up, you can choose to keep your own, or you can get a duplicate of one of the other guys. So let's say someone plays and suddenly they have a blueprint for a primed Warframe. You know, the last piece you need to actually build it, but you got a stick. Well, you can take you can actually get a duplicate of their relic, of their reward, and they can still have theirs, but like I said, you get a copy of it. So it's kind of like a nice little but the important thing is that, yeah, it is a bit of a gamble because there is a bit of random in it, but you don't pay for it. There's no monetary obligation involved.
Yeah, there's something I really need to go ahead and do, because I'm realizing that I'm adding more and more and more links to the show notes for later, and I'm putting them into the live chat also simultaneously. Mm-hmm. We have nothing to do with any of these games. We will never see a cent if you decide to buy any of these or just get demos or whatever. It doesn't do squat for us. We will never know. It's just that this is stuff that we've enjoyed, and I'm suddenly realizing, oh shit, a lot of these are on Steam. I should really make that disclaimer right about now, because there's a lot of great stuff that I threw over in there. For instance, where were some of the Kerbal Space Program has a free demo. GOG, which is Good Old Games. I have not been through their collection to see what it is they've got, but I keep hearing that they've got great stuff.
Oh yes, they do. I picked up a copy of Arcanum from them.
Yeah, they also have a lot of the old LucasArts catalog. X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Rebel, or X-Wing Alliance, where you get to fly the Falcon.
Yeah, remember all that. I also threw in there the guys at Humble Bundle, who do wonderful work, by the way. They're great. The idea is, here's a collection of stuff that's been basically donated. Pay what you want, and it's going to charity for the most part.
Yep.
And if you pay a little bit extra, you got a couple of extra things, but you don't have to. I've paid for stuff through them a couple of times, and I love to see where they come out with a little thing that says, yeah, you know, the Linux community is actually paying about 10% more than the PC community. Really? I can't imagine why. You know, there's stuff like that. What else was over? Oh, yeah. I did put Legends of Equestria in there. The guys have been working steadily on it, trying to make it better without getting a cease and desist letter, because they could, maybe. But I give them this. They're making a pretty solid platform at the moment. So, you know, good on them for that. I want to throw something at you guys and see what you think about it. And I'm not going to announce what it is, So you guys are going to have to tell the folks that are listening after the fact. How about this?
You don't know Jack.
God damn it.
One of the
Nothing like
only
screwing
reasons
your
I
friends.
wish I'd kept my Ouya around.
I have the complete collection.
Yeah. Okay. Piece of trivia or useless factoid about my life. Okay, a few years ago, of course, I was rooming with a bunch of people, and we used to have these get-togethers. You know, the Thanksgiving dinner, the New Year's Eve dinner, and sometimes we just have a video game night. Because, hey, I was rooming with 4 other furs, and we were all gamers, and why not? Well, let me tell you, when I got that Ouya, I actually purchased You Don't Know Jack. Like, I actually bought the full package of the game for the Ouya. We had Xboxes, we had PlayStations, we had, I think there was even a Sega Saturn or a Dreamcast out there once or twice. But on the big TV, which was mine, You Don't Know Jack got played. Now, I only had one controller, but the Ouya had an Android app for the phone where you could turn your phone into a controller. So you could have up to 4 people playing You Don't Know Jack. And let me tell you, that game kept us going till like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Because everybody loved to play it. I miss it.
Oh yeah, and funny enough, I just went looking it up because I was going to try to see if I could find if the CD information was still available. They got it over on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. So Steam, by the way, guys, good on you for being able to do this. A little creepy at the same time, but whatever.
You know, actually, Steam just recently went through a bit of a controversy not too long ago about what they were going to allow on their platform. Basically, a lot of people were saying that there were certain games that they found offensive, problematic. Of course, that's a trigger word for a lot of people. And they basically said, you know what? As long as it's not illegal or is determined to be a deliberate troll attempt, you want to develop something and put it on Steam, yeah, we'll let you do it. It might not be to everyone's taste. It might be a little, like I said, it might be a little tasteless. It might be a little out there for some people. But as long as you're not deliberately trolling people for the sake of trolling them, and you're not, you know, you're still within the bounds of, I guess, everything legal, have at her. And a lot of the people who, you know, want more control over that kind of stuff lost their collective shit. But I say to Steam, good on you. I mean, I would say you're quite possibly the largest game streaming service out there right now. If Steam ever collapses, it's going to be a global implosion. You know, like try to play a Steam game you've downloaded, but without an internet connection. I don't think it works.
Yeah, there are some games that that just doesn't work for.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a little annoying at times, but okay.
Yeah.
Let me backtrack to something a second, by the way. And Tech, you help me out on this one. If I remember right, way back when, like around Windows 95-ish time, wasn't there an Easter egg that was programmed into Excel that would get you into a very crude flight simulator? Am I remembering that right?
I couldn't tell you. I'd have to Google that because I don't know if that was a rumor back then or if that was a reality. I mean, I know there were Easter eggs in games for stuff, and there were some Easter eggs in programs like little goofy things like something would happen on April Fool's Day or Christmas or so on as Easter, you know, things like that. But as for the flight sim, I don't think I ever had a version that allowed me to do that. So I think it was, it's my belief that I only assumed it was just made up.
No, apparently I just found it. I was just typing while you were talking. Apparently, to activate
amazing thing.
Yeah, To activate the flight simulator in XL97, follow these steps. Oh my God. Step 1. Open Microsoft Excel 97. Okay, I know that you have to kind of handhold a lot of people to get to a lot of stuff, but come on. Let's see. Open a new workbook, press F5, enter L97, X97, press enter, hit tab once, press Control Shift while you click the chart wizard icon in the toolbar. To quit, press escape.
Yeah, no, I never did that. So
I heard about it. I remember about it because it was something that ended up in Dilbert. Oh my God. Yeah, the boss was supposed to be going on a trip. They were shuttling him one way somewhere, and the stewardess was telling him, you got to close up your laptop. He's like, no, I got to fly the airplane. It's like, yeah, I remember that now. Damn. That's a bad tech flashback I'm having right now. Oh. Okay, yeah, so much for that. That's good. So that's what we do now. But for having fun, for mindless entertainment. And yes, Elite Dangerous is one of those things. I played it on the Amiga way back when, and got it now, and I will be playing Raft with somebody in the very near future. I've got a video that I have to finish editing. Damn it! But it's a whole other thing. But there's got to be something. I'm kind of wondering if you guys have also got one of those. It drives me up a wall, but it feels so cathartic afterwards. I mean, that's really my arguing with people on Facebook kind of thing.
Yeah, I got that. And it's the driving me up the wall part is having to sit down and actually do the initial work.
Look, dude, if I could help you do the audio work for us, I would. I'm sorry.
That's not it. That's not it. Tech alluded earlier to something that Amazon does when it comes to writing. And just before we got started before the freestyle there, I alluded to something. I wrote a book, finished it a couple of years ago. Been working on the sequel, trying to work on the sequel, but I've also been trying to work on remastering and re-editing the book and re-recording it, which is the tough part, because actually trying to sit down in front of a computer to do that, I don't know. I always seem to make up excuses. I'm a terrible procrastinator of that. But the cathartic part afterwards would be once it's done, I ship it off to a website called Scribble, which used to be known as Podiobooks.com, which was,
I remember you talking about that way back.
Yeah, but you see, they've partnered now with this company called Scribble. And what they'll do for you is your book becomes a free audiobook on the Podiobooks site. It becomes a for-pay audiobook on audible.com. And it also becomes a for-pay downloadable ebook. So you're basically published. With the exception of the Dead Tree version, you're about as published as you can get. So that's kind of my aspiration, largely because, I do know a publisher. As a matter of fact, he's going to be up at Foray this weekend or next weekend, which I'm kind of sad I won't be able to go see. But he just started last year. It's called Armored Fox Press, if you ever hear about it. I was thinking of talking to him, but he's largely small print right now, and he probably isn't looking at doing a novel at this point. Anthology, short stories, sure, but a full-length novel, I don't think he's quite ready yet. But yeah, that's my thing that drives me up the wall, is actually sitting here and recording my voice on a microphone and then sitting through doing all the editing, because I don't fix a lot of stuff on this show in post, but trust me, when I try to get something ready for prime time, millisecond by millisecond by millisecond. I am editing the fuck out of what I'm doing.
No, I know what you mean. It's kind of a love-hate relationship with me trying to get my video done.
Yeah, and like, you know, for every minute you record, you spend 2 minutes editing.
2 minutes.
Yeah, no, as someone who's done video, I know it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, my biggest problem is that. Oh, you want to move that? Okay, we'll move that section.
Then you got to move all the video that goes with it.
Now I'm ready for you to go ahead and do the next thing. Oh fuck.
Yep.
I've got 8 cores. I've got 8 cores at 4 gigahertz in this computer. Video editing should not be like this. But
I hear you. I hear that. That's why I end up doing all my work stuff at home when it comes to video recording, because my laptop just can't do it.
Yeah, I hear that. Tech, what about you? I mean, I kind of accidentally ended up having you last up before. There's got to be something where you're just like, yeah, I need to alert somebody, and I'm gonna feel good when I'm done with it.
My Schadenfreude comes from a couple different sources. One, I kind of like the show Parking Wars.
Oh God.
I love watching the people who decide that, oh, look, handicap spot in front of the store. I'm only going to be 2 minutes. It's going to be okay. When I see them get a ticket, I'm happy. When I see the car booted and towed away, I squee. Because I have a member of my family who has a disability. The disability is not something that is readily visible. And she had sister has good days and bad days, and she never knows what day it's going to be when she wakes up. She doesn't know what day it's going to be until the moment hits. And when parking is supposed to be available, because she has the proper placard and all that other fun stuff, when that moment hits, she needs that spot. If she doesn't need the spot, she will typically not park there. But if she's having a bad day and some asshole's parked in there, I've gone out with her on several occasions on trips to like stores and things like that. And man, it really irks me to see somebody parked in a spot who obviously doesn't need it. And I don't mean they forgot to put their sign up. I mean, there is a car in there. There's no placard, no specialized license plate, no sticker, no nothing. The person gets into the car, just walks in like nothing's wrong in the world and drives off. I was like, okay, at that point, since nothing was presented, I mean, literally nothing. Yeah, I'm going to err on that person either A, doesn't have a disability, or B, forgot to put their signage up. Either way, I'm pissed.
That's fair enough. I mean, it's a kind of moment where you wish you had like an entourage to come along with you, big, beefy Swedish men to come over and just, oh, you want us to move the car? We can do that. Just pick up the car and just move it.
When I used to live in Virginia, and when I moved to Virginia, I was still in high school. And when they had a snowstorm hit, there was this young lady who had an old Volkswagen VW Bug, right? The old style one. The problem is where she had parked on the side of the road, she couldn't get any traction to get off and back onto the road again.
Yeah.
Me and 3 big guys were walking by and saw that she was having a hard time. She got out. She was kind of pacing around the car. She looked like she was on the verge of tears. I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I can't get the car out. It's stuck." We all kind of looked at each other. Yeah, we got this. It's a Volkswagen Bug. It's really not that. So we all took a corner of the wheel hub, the wheel well, because people, you don't realize that. Car people or people with a Volkswagen Bug will realize that the whole thing was metal. It wasn't aluminum. This thing was steel. So you grab any particular part, you're going to move this little tiny car. Well, we all grabbed on, the 4 corners. We picked it up. We put it out on the road, put it down. It was like, have at it. Jeez. It was hilarious. But as for the other aspect of where I get my Schadenfreude from, it's actually in the one of the subreddits called Malicious Compliance.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Whenever I read a tale about, wait a minute, you want me to do what to the Active Directory? The server hosting Active Directory? Okay, sure. Let me get that in writing, please, because here's my rebuttal. Oh, you don't care what I say it's going to do. You still want me to do it? Sure. All right.
Wait a minute, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Isn't there a legendary list of things that are not supposed to be done for a particular? I believe it was Army guy. I'm trying to remember who this was supposed to have been.
There is a subreddit called Military Stories, by the way. That one's sweet too.
Yeah, but there's one list that's specifically for one guy. I'm trying to remember. Do you remember this?
No, I don't remember.
Damn it.
Is it Rithnook?
Well, all right. To be fair, we do have a separate thing for Rithy, which is rather extensive. But no. This was like a legit in the Army kind of thing. That
Private Murphy.
It could be Murphy. Things like is not allowed to have chewing gum in parade formation without bringing enough for everybody. Is not allowed to have any chewing gum, even if he did bring enough for everybody. That's the kind of thing that we're talking about on that list. Tech,
I'm getting nothing.
Okay, Tech. That sounds like the kind of thing you're talking about.
So, yeah, with malicious compliance, it can be stories can originate from any kind of place. It can be from work. It could be some of them are from people's childhood, like because kids. Malicious compliance doesn't tend to always be malicious. It's just a way of nature of children and how they think. But some of them can be very malicious, especially when it comes down to like school systems and teachers. Because I had some great teachers, and I had some people who I questioned why they were in the teaching industry in the first place. There are stories of military malicious compliance, and I have learned by reading some of the stuff and going into the military stories subreddit and conferring with some of my people on the base here. There is no such the peak of malicious compliance is military malicious compliance, and I got to when I was bringing it up with some of the guys on base and gals. I got to hear some great stuff that I never even hoped to read online. It warms the cockles of my heart to know when somebody is in a position of authority who decides that they are a know-it-all, that they know everything, and they are proven horribly, horribly wrong. But they were given the chance to not have it go down like that. That's the kicker. The kicker is that you have these people in these positions. Maybe you have somebody in this the CTO position, this chief technology officer of a company is usually the person in charge of doing purchasing for your infrastructure and things like that. Maybe they're in charge of policies regarding passwords, things like that. Ultimately, they have the ultimate say, basically. While they may not be coding the group policy objects and everything else, they're the ones who are creating the policies and procedures that everybody else has to follow. Not always the case. Again, it varies from company to company. So maybe you get a CTO who has a great background in acquiring technology, right? So they know the difference between a RAID controller and a SCSI drive. Two different kinds of objects, but they can coincide depending on your needs, right? You might have an array of SCSI drives. I prefer the serial ATA stuff, but you know everybody's different. So while they may be very savvy in that technical aspect, they may not really know too much about networks. So they don't understand why they should buy the $5,000 router over the $500 router. And because of that, they're not listening to their server administrator, and they're only buying the $500 router, and all the things that they're supposed to be doing are going to hell. They were warned. And when you have a paper trail, the buck stops depending on the paper trail.
Oh, the paper trails are so much fun.
Yes, they are.
And this is where it all stems from. People who have watched the show have heard us say before. Rule number one of IT, the written rule number one. There's an unwritten number one and a written number one. Written number one is document, document, document.
Yep. Thank you, Shujin.
Yep. And that'll save your butt. I don't care what industry you're in.
True.
If you are in a position that something has to be done, you know that trying to accomplish it in a particular way or that to attempt to even do it could be hazardous in some way, shape, or form, whether it's life-threatening or not. Document the issue and bring it to your superiors, because let's say it's not life-threatening. Let's say it's just a server, and if it goes down, everybody loses their email for an hour, right? Which does happen. You point out, hey, if we do this, we're going to lose email connectivity for an hour. And they say, go ahead. And it's like, okay, just send me a reply to the email saying go ahead, or sign off on this that you want me to do it anyway. Get it in writing. Get things in writing. If you're in an environment like retail where they're just telling you stuff word of mouth, have witnesses. Grab a buddy. It's like, hey, we were both looking at this job that you want me to do, and I was getting their opinion, and we both agree that this is dangerous and shouldn't be done without such and such safety equipment. Do you have access to it or whatever? They say, no, just get it done. You just got a witness of your boss telling you, hey, look, we know you're going to get hurt. We don't care. Because that comes and bites them back in the end. And so, yes, all that fun stuff, that's where my Schadenfreude comes from.
Fair enough. We're hitting up at the top of the hour, so I'm going to see about killing us real quick. I've got one item that I found the list in question. I'm going to make a reference to that. Was there, at this point, was there anybody else that had something else that they wanted to go ahead and say, yeah, this drives me up a wall, but I get so cathartic as a real quick item?
Something cathartic.
No, you've already been talking. You're off the table.
Yeah, I know.
All right, well, talked enough.
Okay. Well, then let me go ahead and since I put the link over the live chat anyway, the item I was thinking of was Skippy's list. I know that the bastard operator from hell has got to have his own list somewhere. I did not go looking for it. Maybe I will. But Skippy's list is from the military. And I'm expecting that I should end up hearing the microphone unmute from Brigid so that she can laugh on this too. Because one of the items that I want you guys to appreciate, the military folks are going to appreciate this one, not as civvies. If one soldier has a second lieutenant bar on his uniform, and I have an E4 on mine, it means he outranks me. It does not mean I have been promoted 3 more times than you.
Well.
Yeah, I thought that you'd appreciate that one. I am not authorized to prescribe any form of medication. That's always a good one. Let's see. Teddy bear, turn around is not a cadence. For those of you that know about marching, that's let's see. Must not refer to first sergeant as mom. Must
They
not refer
asked us to, though.
must not refer to the commander as Dad. Inflatable sheep do not need to be displayed during a room inspection.
So,
Why not?
There's no context associated with them. Vodka, green food coloring, and a cool mint Listerine bottle is not a good combination. I'm gonna go with that one. And
Deep breath. Deep breath.
okay, there is absolutely no need to emulate the people from Full Monty every time I hear the song Hot Stuff. And last item. Again, military folks are going to appreciate this more. People who are in some kind of authority system will figure this one out. Okay. All right, two of them then. The first one is the Microsoft dancing paperclip is not authorized to countermand any orders.
I like that.
And I read this one immediately afterwards, and it's just like, yeah, this is the one I want to finish it off with. Quote, I'm drunk is a bad answer to any question posed by my commander.
Yep.
Yeah, I can understand that one.
That pretty well goes for any of it. All of the stuff that we've been talking about tonight, as far as to games and this website and all this stuff, is going to be linked in the show notes. Feel free to have fun with that. It will be all over the place, and I hope that you enjoy yourself. Oh God, I'm sorry. I just scrolled. I just did a casual scroll through, and I've got a gap like this big on my screen where I can see this stuff, and I'm gonna have a hard time not reading through this whole damn thing. The proper way to report to my commander is Specialist Schwartz reporting as ordered, sir. Not, you can't prove a thing. That's gonna be a bad write-up right there, man. That's gonna be a bad write-up. I'm gonna have all kinds of fun going through this list. We better get out of here before I start reading through the rest of it. You know what? I'm gonna leave the scroll button aside and not press the scroll button at all, so I don't go tempting the fates right about now. So everybody, thank you very much for being with us. Hope that you had yourself a fun time. I know this was not exactly our usual fare. That's the point. Oh, God, it's just this is too damn much. On behalf of all of us to all of you, with all the shit that's been flying around, the burnout on the news that's been happening, yeah, we get it. We understand. And that's kind of the reason why I decided to do this tonight.
Yeah.
We're with you. Believe me, we're with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that we can say collectively, at least the digital border has not been closed between us and Calgary at this point. So thank you, Dalan, for sticking it out with us at this point.
You know, you turn on, well, in particular, you turn on like a cable news network like CNN or NBC or even Fox News. And if you're dumb enough like me to watch a little bit too much YouTube of the wrong genres, you might think the world is a bad place. Like, honestly, all of 2017, I didn't travel. And for a job where I'm supposed to travel, that was a bit of a hit.
Sorry.
But instead, I just got fed, one video after another of this, that, and the other thing. And it got to the point where I almost didn't want to come back down because I don't think I was going to like what I found. But, and I mean, Joey actually kind of, he mentioned this a lot when he was touring over in Afghanistan. Us as lay people over here, we think it's, the place is just, terrible. And if you're if you're considered to be an American, you're automatically a target. But yet, you know, Joey, for all the stuff now, you met some good people.
Oh yeah, I would say, look, this is something that I've stated before.
Yeah.
You look around you. If you're an American or Canadian or whatever, just look around you. Look at your basic, you know, demographic of the population around you. Because guess what? It's exactly the same over there. They have slightly different traditions. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're going to look for the number of bad people, guess what? It's the same wherever you go. It's just a matter of who has access to what. It's a little easier to get automatic weapons when there's no ATF to regulate them.
Yeah, but my point is, you know, until you're in the thick of it, you don't really know.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, you know, who are, you know, who don't move around much, who maybe are kind of stuck in their basement or stuck wherever in front of a computer all the time, and their only exposure to the outside world is what they see on TV and stuff. Yeah, it can be a scary thing. And finding a way to blow off steam, like we talked about here, video games, cathartic moments of messing with people on Facebook, or, you know, reading stories of what did you call it? A compulsive compliance. You know, stuff like that. I guess what I'm saying is just get out there and live a little. Because what you'll find is, yeah, a lot of things do suck. But I would guarantee you, for the most part, if you were to open up your door, take a look outside in your immediate field of vision, maybe take a walk to that corner store to get a drink, you might find it's not as bad as you might think, or as you might have originally thought it was.
Yeah, my corner store is about 5 miles away, so yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Well, you know, throw on 2 or 3 audio episodes of this thing, and you'll do fine.
Yeah, how about I just go in the kitchen and just drink right there? Let's do it the easy way. Anyway,
thank you for completely defeating the purpose of what I just said.
Nah, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I don't want to go walking up and down the hills. It's anyway.
Does anybody else have a problem with my little plan?
No.
Of marching up and down the square?
A square that goes up and down is a Q. Never mind. We'll deal with that later. Everybody, you shut up. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. You all have yourselves a great time, and I hope that you had yourselves a fun time. And Trippin and Stephanie, thank you guys. I'm glad you guys had a fun time. Tech, thank you, man. You have yourself a great morning, because I'm figuring you're going to get yourself back to sleep very shortly.
Yeah, I'm tired. And by the way, to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day.
I was about to say as much as Mo. Thanks, man. Joey, I'm glad you were able to make it, man. You take good care of yourself. You get some rest eventually, eh?
Well, I'm fairly rested up now. I passed out this afternoon after laying down flooring.
Ah, yes. So, so tell me, after inhaling all of those fumes, how many eyeballs does Tiamat the Dragon have in the backside of that vehicle?
You know, not many fumes today. Mostly just sawdust. I did, however, there was a point at which I had to use my drill with a cutting tool on it to finish the cutting process, because, you know, 8 by 4 foot plywood boards take a while to go through with a handsaw.
Okay.
But, you know, all I had were 2 metal cutting discs, and yeah, they're both gone.
They're, you know what? I don't. Yeah, no, I get that part. I get that part.
They're heat tempered, and they cut via friction, and friction with wood is a bit tougher than with metal.
Gotcha. Well, in that case, enjoy your rest when you get to it again, I guess.
I take what I can get.
Fair enough. Brigid, thank you very much for your time. You have yourself a good rest of your weekend as well.
Thank you. I guess I need to plug my blog.
You think?
Yeah. You can find my blog at brigidfitch2112.wordpress.com, or you can find me on Facebook under Brigid Fitch.
Thank you very much. And of course, for those of you that might be interested for Joseph's work over there in France, you can find his stuff over at, where is it? Yeah, I've got it linked over there. Oh, hell, that's too damn long. You know what? Screw it. Just go to the show notes. You can find it. For Heretic Woman, of course, for all of her stuff, they should be having a show tomorrow, which is Monday. We haven't gotten to sleep yet, so to me, it's not tomorrow. Whatever. You can find that all their information over at beyondthetrailerpark.com. Over on Facebook also, AOA BTTP. Long story about that. And of course, you can check out fullquranic.com for all the other stuff that she does over there. And Dalan, man, thank you for all the stuff that you end up doing.
Yeah,
and
I'm just glad to be back after a couple of weeks.
Welcome back.
Yeah, well, I do have the content. I'm just putting the final touches on it. Soon to be updating the audio version of this show over at holycrapthevlogcast.com. Yeah, I know it's fallen behind a little bit.
No. I'm just thinking to myself, final touches, dude. You need to put like a pop and crackle filter on me. That's about it.
Right, which takes a while.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
We got Shujin the Rice Krispie over here.
Well, to be fair, the problem is with my Linux setup.
I know.
My intention over the summer is to completely redo the OS from scratch and see if I can get everything working better. Yeah. I hope. But anyway.
Well, in any case, yeah, so there's that. And then for other consciousness streams, you can catch me over at inthewind.yo5.ca.
All the stuff that Dalan's putting together is for all of you that want to listen to the audio-only version. You can take a swing over to holycrapthevlogcast.com, and the RSS feed is over on the left-hand side. There's a little orange symbol. Click on that, not the word for podcast, because WordPress is stupid that way. I've never understood that. It's weird. Anyway, but of course, if you'd like to leave us a voicemail message, you can go ahead and do that at 859-HCTV-554, 859-4288-554. All of our social media links are available over at the website as well. And as was mentioned earlier, if you want to go ahead and drop a little bit of money, patreon.com/HCTV, because I got lucky that way and got that one. And for those of you that have been helping out, no matter how small, no matter what it's been, for me, for the ride for Roswell, thank you. Really, really do appreciate it, whether it's dollars or just encouragement. It really means a lot. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. You all take very good care of yourselves. As always, I wish you all the peace I no longer have. I wish you the strength that I've learned. I wish you well. Happy Father's Day. Please do not forget, it is still Pride Month. Encourage and help everybody where you can, huh? And of course, as always, my lady, 13 years on, I'm still in love. Matane Fujin. I love you. I miss you. Dream of me. Till the next time we get together, everyone, as always, good night.